just talking as I usually do off the top of my head, so I don't know how structured this will be or how well thought out it will be. But I wanted to kind of do a little bit of an update, which is that I finally have tried a little bit of Glide, which I think is very cool. And, to play into the kind of buzzwords right now, I guess I would call it a cozy sci-fi solo game. It's, you're searching like an ecologically ruined planet for pieces of the past or ways to fix the planet for the future. And you fly around in some kind of little speeder and you just collect scrap and try to sell it and try to improve things. Now, you're looking usually for a certain number of things. That wins the game once you build up to a certain level. Anyway, there's no real combat. There's no, major dangers. If you run out of your resources, you just go home. It's not you don't starve to death or run out of water in the desert or anything like that. You just go back and replenish. So I tried a little bit. I have not gotten very far. I made my little hex thing here, went out and explored. I found a bunch of environmental machines, and I searched through them and found some useful scrap, which was cool. What I have... Oh, and my specific character... or I rolled a thing where I'm actually not looking for the usual thing. I'm trying to restore the planet, so I'm rebuilding the past with restoration instead of I can't remember what the original thing is called. It's not restoration; it's something else. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's like completing quests. There's fame. I think it's like fame. Anyway, why was I doing this? One, I'd like to try some more solo games. I think the idea is interesting. I think that there's a lot of inspiration you can take from them. But also, I've been thinking about trying to run a kind of Ringworld inspired version of Glide. And in fact, while running Glide, I was kind of thinking about how I might weave it in with the stuff from Ringworld. And why am I doing that? Well, I'd like to run a game of Ringworld for some people. What I ended up finding as I read through it is so big. And it's really the kind of, it's the embarrassment of riches. There's so much potential here that it's kind of hard to attach yourself to something and really start. And that's kind of a microcosm of games generally. I mean, when you look at like the fantasy world of whatever Forgotten Realms is called, it's hard to look at all of that. If you just look at the whole thing, it's hard to pick something to do. That's why a lot of things start small. Your Fandelver adventures or whatever, or they have a specific arc like any of the big published campaigns that they've done for 5e. It's hard to find a starting spot because there's so much. It can be a little overwhelming. So what I thought about doing is using this as a kind of a starting point, a launch pad. I want to kind of explore around a little bit on my own in the Ringworld setting by doing things like, I think it was a technique I saw Geek Gamers do quite a while back, where she rolled dice and used that to find a page number. So like this has 44 pages. I might roll a D50, roll a D100, and anything 50 or above, just start back at 0, or whatever. And pick a page and then see if there's something on the page that inspires me to do that. So like I was exploring in environmental structures. So I might go, look, there's pages here. And I roll a 6, go to page 6, and we've got grogs have emerged to a number of human worlds. So there's these grogs, which are some kind of critter, it looks like. Or I have this, I'm never going to pronounce this word, Cadathino, maybe. But I could look through here. Oh, it's a world of Cadet. And I could see how something in here maybe connects in with, if these grogs, whatever these things are, if they have like a piece of technology or something like that, maybe there's a piece of that technology found amongst the scrap in that thing. That's what I'm getting at. And from that, if I can explore around in this solo game and maybe build up a little bit of an area, build up a story that happens in that area, I could then take that and think like, okay, some guy went out, he explored this stuff, he found a bunch of these pieces, he found a piece of technology from some old alien. The rumor for that gets passed around, and now I have something for a PC to find, the rumor of this piece of technology, and we can start an adventure from there. And that's what I'm sort of getting at, and why I'm hoping that I can use Glide to inspire a starting point for running some Ringworld and to give me a little bit of structure and something to latch onto, like an oyster trying to find a bit of shell to hook onto and grow. So anyway, that's my first look at Glide. I just I played around with it for maybe an hour and came up with just a few little bits, and I started writing them kind of as diary entries just to give myself a little bit of story sense. Now, one observation I will make with Glide is it's not a large book, but I found key stuff kind of a little difficult to find, and because there's no index, it can be a little bit of a challenge. Now I'm going to try to really keep myself on, I think there's a process of play in here somewhere. Maybe there's not. Maybe that was one of my problems. I can't remember. Anyway, what I'm getting at is that I did find it a little bit challenging. I don't want to have to go back and reread the whole book every time I play. And I did kind of feel like, it had been a few weeks since I'd read the book, and going back and trying to play it, I was really like, oh, wait, what do I do here? What do I do there? And I felt that I didn't necessarily have an easy time finding it in here. That's also partially me. I'm not great with rule books anyway, but it's something to know if you are somebody who also maybe is a little challenged that way, that there is no index, and so finding stuff might be a little bit of a challenge. Perhaps the PDF is easier to use. I don't know. I really don't do PDFs, generally speaking, so I can't say anything about that. Anyway, it's still a pretty cool game. I really enjoy what little I have done with it so far. I'm going to try to do a little more to see if I can make enough to be a real basis for a Ringworld game. We'll see. That's all I've really got for now. So until next time, take care.